Hey guys, it's Sandy with Urban Rebel Designs in Aztec, New Mexico. Welcome my Friday friends. When you hop on, please say hello. Let me know what you're working on this weekend. I've got a pretty big project that I should have finished up today. Hi Kelsey. We're going to be painting my classroom refrigerator today. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I got this at a thrift store for $5 and they didn't know if it worked. I didn't know if it worked, but I knew I wanted something to practice on. So we brought it into the store, plugged it in, and it's worked for the last 2 years. I'm updating my store, so I'm starting with my classroom, and I wanted a fancy refrigerator. When it came in, it was painted, I don't know if you can see right here. Hi Dixie Belle. It was painted a metallic red on the front, and since I wasn't sure what this product was, I went ahead and did a coat of Slick Stick just on that part, and I only did one coat last night before I left the store, let it sit overnight, and now we're ready to go. The colors that we're using today are sea glass because it is the perfect old mason jar color, and I love me some mason jars. And then for the chalkboard areas, I'm going to do a chalkboard in here and down here. I'm using Gravel Road because I wanted it to look a little antique-y. Cynthia, you can't hear. Let me see if I can fix that, but I'm not sure.
Cynthia can hear.
Oh, you can hear.
Yeah, Dixie Belle said they couldn't earlier.
Okay, sorry Dixie Belle. But thanks Cynthia. Hi Susie. So we're going to get started. What we did here, this beautiful product is a new product to the U.S. market called Wood U Bend. That's W-O-O-D, the letter U, B-E-N-D. And it is a flexible wood molding. I've got a hot plate over here that I have some on, so I'm going to pull it off and show you. When it's heated up, so the trim molding, the straight pieces come in a roll like this, and when it's heated up, it's flexible. This is made with wood fibers, so it's paintable, stainable. You can do anything you want to it. And what we did for this piece, they come in like this. There are like 33 or 3,500 different designs that you can get. And when they come in, they're rigid. They can be a little bit fragile when they first come in, so keep that in mind. But once they're heated, they're pliable, they're bendy. I even did a wedding bouquet with them. I think there's a picture of it on my Facebook page, Urban Rebel Designs, if you want to see that. But we heated it up, put it up here. We attached it with some 2-part 5-minute quick set epoxy, and it's not going anywhere. So now we're going to get started, and we're going to do the outline in our sea glass. And I'm not going to worry if I get a little bit inside the lines. Oh good, I'm glad you can hear now. So to do this part, I'm going to use my RL, which is for round, Dixie Belle brush. And we're going to start with the sea glass. Now, I should say that I cleaned my refrigerator really well with White Lightning and a green, I call these Scotchy, green Scotchy pad. I buy them in bulk at the local restaurant supply. You can get them at Dollar Tree, but what can you not get at Dollar Tree? And look at how easy this is. Now, if I had this to do over and I wasn't trying to do a live on it, honestly, I would probably have this in my spray booth and I would spray it and I would be done with it in about 10 minutes. But I'm having a little bit of fun doing this by hand. I don't know if anybody's weird like I am, but it's always kind of nice to watch your project evolve. And one thing that I love about Dixie Belle, it's really important to keep your brush damp. This will make your paint go farther. It also helps to eliminate brush strokes. So I keep my handy dandy spray bottle right next to me. And I can't see the comments right now because my back's to you. Hi Pam. Hi Ellen.
Clarkson McGraw wants to know what you primed with.
So I used Slick Stick 1 coat on the front of this because I wasn't sure what product they had used on it. I am not going to Slick Stick the side. I'm going to show you how to do that without it. Slick Stick is a great problem solver. It acts like a bonding primer, so if you have something super, super shiny or super slick, like I'm about to start a piece of French Provincial, which is notorious for the laminate that's on top being really, really slick, I will Slick Stick it. Normally when I do countertops, because I have been doing countertops for so long, I normally don't use Slick Stick on countertops, but if it makes you more comfortable, go for it. The most important thing, and the thing that if you've taken any of my classes, you know I preach like crazy, is the difference between dry time and cure time. Dry time is when it's dry to the touch. Cure time is when all of the moisture has evaporated from your product. So all paint takes a 28 to 30 day cure time. I saw we had a question.
Yes, Jackie Sherburne wants to know if you'll be adding a clear coat.
Hi Jackie. I will probably add gator hide on the front. I'm only going to do it around here. I don't want to add it to the center because I'm going to be using that as a chalkboard, and gator hide would make it too slick. So I will probably gator hide around this border on the outside, but you don't really have to, because if you let it cure, then Dixie Belle is amazing. It's scrubbable, and it gives you that soft texture, that soft flat texture. I'm sorry I'm out of frame, but I've got to get this side over here. That chalk mineral paint will give you. Now I am pretty happy because I'm getting this done in 1 coat.
Sandy wants to know, what do you put on top of countertops to seal?
Gator hide. And I will probably do 4 or 5 coats of gator hide. I love doing countertops. I'm telling you, it's probably my favorite product on earth. I use it. I probably honestly use it on everything that I paint in some form. It's so versatile because you can put just a dab of paint in it and tin it. I saw on the boards this morning that somebody was having trouble. They had painted something black and they were having trouble with streaks. Put just a drop of your paint in your gator hide, mix it really well. It will virtually eliminate streaking. I'm just trying to get in all these grooves on this gorgeous wood you bend. Let me tell y'all something. This wood you bend product will be a game changer for you. It's great if you get a piece in that has a piece of molding or an applique that's broken. You can use this. Take you about 5 minutes and your piece is completely fixed. Now I am painting my handles too because I want them to kind of disappear. Okay, so I have this pretty well covered.
We just had a question about where did you get the wood rub trim?
So that is a product that's called Would You Bend. It's WOODUBEND. I carry it here in the store. There are several Dixie Belle retailers who are carrying it now. It's a new product to the U.S. You can go on their website and find your nearest retailer, or you can send me a private message if you want to order it. Like I said, I think there's like 3,300. There's over 3,000 different patterns and designs that you can get. I'm going to start working on the side here. And you'll notice this cream part, I did not slick stick. It will probably take 2 coats of paint. And I'm going to switch brushes. And I'm going to turn this hot plate off, I think. I'm going to switch brushes. I know I'm going to do 2 coats of paint on the side. So I'm going to start my first coat going one direction. When I do my second coat, and this is just so I get better coverage, I'll go up and down, and I will always finish with one long swipe, so you don't see the little lines where it looks like somebody has painted like this. That's a little frenetic for me, and it kind of irritates me when I see it. Actually, let me get this right here, and we're going to see here in just a second if I had to slick stick this. It may be that I didn't need to, but I wanted to be sure, because the last thing you want when you're doing a live is a total screw up. This is looking like it was a little bit slick, and the red is coming through more. So this, I feel comfortable not slick sticking this, but I may have to do an extra coat on this. So let's start up here. Now the key again is dry time versus cure time. And one way to tell if your piece is really good and dry to the touch, because a lot of times you'll put your hand on it, like here, and it feels dry, it's not tacky, but it's still cool. It's not completely dry. Down here where I painted this morning, it's not cool at all. So I know this, I can go back and start on the wax. Yes, sir?
Couple of questions. Teresa wants to know if the freezer is going to become a chalkboard as well.
Yes.
And Christy wants to know if rolling with a foam roller would be faster.
Christy, it probably would. I'm not sure how much of an issue the molding would be, but honestly, by the time I fill a tray and use a roller, I can brush it. But I'm kind of like the Energizer Bunny, and I have been told that I work too fast, so.
We had a good comment from Catherine. She said her husband's going to come home to a painted fridge and shake his head.
Yay, Catherine. Hey, do me a favor. If you do paint it, please send me a picture. When we are doing these lives, and I'm speaking for the retailers and the brand ambassadors, we do it because we love to share what we have learned. And nothing makes us feel any better than for somebody to share with us something that we helped them with. So if you do this, please send me a picture. Okay, I'm going to leave this because I don't want to bore you all too much. I mean, let's face it, painting a refrigerator, how exciting is that? And I'm going to move around. That's still tacky, so I will wait for that to dry completely before I add the gravel road. But I'm going to move down here and show you how I'm going to do the wax and how it'll just make the details pop out. We have another question?
Yes, Michelle asked a good question. What are you spraying on the brush? Just water, and why?
Just water. And the reason is if you keep your brush damp, then that helps your paint go farther. it also helps to eliminate brush strokes. And I am, in all honesty, going to do this entire refrigerator with less than an 8-ounce jar of paint. This, I'm using a 16-ounce. I have already painted 4 dining chairs out of it, the front of this, and that much of the side, and you can see, sorry about the drip, that's all I've used. If I hadn't kept my brush damp, I probably would have used twice that much. What stops the paint from? Okay, I don't know. Robin, if you will finish that question, I will try to answer it for you. So I'm going to use Grunge Gray Wax right down here. If the comments are in the way, you can swipe right and you can see what I'm working on. I don't want to move my camera because that would be a whole ordeal.
Oh, Robin wanted to know what stops the paint from scratching.
When it cures. When it cures, and all that means is all of the moisture is evaporating from the product. So when it cures, it sort of forms a bond with whatever you paint it on. That's how you can, I'm getting over here. That's how you can use it on glass or metal. You can use it on mirrors. Now I'm using my Paint Pixie French round brush for the wax. And I am not even being real neat with it. I just want to get it in the cracks and crevices of this gorgeous wood you bend. And it looks like I have it on too heavy. You all know that I adore Dixie Belle's wax, and I pretty much hate all other wax. Pretty much. I'm going to take a synthetic silk sponge, and I'm just going to start wiping it back. Yes, sir. Question?
We have a couple of questions about what you use to attach the wood you bend to the fridge.
Okay. So what we used was a quick setting 2-part epoxy. They come in little bitty tubes. You can get them at any big box home store. It's 2 parts, so you mix it together. It sets in 5 minutes. Then you just, let me grab this. When you get your wood you bend heated up, you're going to straighten it out, and then you're just going to paint your epoxy on there. Put it up here. We did use some tape to hold it because didn't want to have to redo it in a hurry. And it's as simple as that. Like I said, I have used it on a wedding bouquet. It is that flexible. If you want to see that, there's a picture on my Facebook page. Going back to my sponge now. Okay, so I've got it knocked down off of the highlights here, and it's looking a little dark here in the corner. So this is, I'm about to show you why I love Dixie Belle's wax. I'm going to spray a little spot on my sponge, and it was just that big. I'm going to squeeze it out, and then I'm going to go back and clean this up. Yes, sir.
Alyssa wants to know if you used clear wax first.
Alyssa, I don't. I know a lot of people who do, and that's great. If that makes you more comfortable and it will get you to use the product, by all means, some clear wax. I actually have the Easy Peasy spray wax sitting here in case I decided to use it. But I have worked with this wax for so long, and I know because it's water-based that you can thin it with water. So I just apply it straight, and then if it looks like it's too heavy in some spots, I'm going to go back, wet a spot on my sponge, and thin it right out. So I'll do a second coat of Gravel Road on this one. I'll do my first coat. I'll do 2 coats on this one. I'm gonna finish the sides and we will be done. I will post a picture of the full finished product probably later this afternoon. I'll post it here in the comments. I'll also post it on my page. Thanks, Dixie Belle. Let's see. No, I did not use clear wax first. How will I get the wax off from around the outside? I'm not going to. I want to use that as some shading. So I'm not going to remove this. I'm trying to make this look like an aged piece of furniture. And I like the way that it highlights it when there's a bit of a shadow around it. Oops, I'm sorry. My watch just went off. Is the top ornate piece? Yes. And I can show you, this is what it looked like. Hold it up here above the comments. This is what it looked like, and that's what we put up there. We used a smaller piece for the center down here, and then we used, I think we used 2 rolls. Yes, 2 rolls of the trim. So this trim, look at the detail in that. That is gorgeous. This is TR38. This one is 1376, and I'm not sure what number this one is.
Ann wants to know how it will become a chalkboard.
Oh, Ann, great question. So that's another great detail of Dixie Belle paint that you don't hear a lot about. Because it is a chalk mineral paint, you can use it as a chalkboard. All you need to do, I do, when I'm making a chalkboard, I will do 1 coat up and down, and then I'll do the next coat side to side. That gives me complete coverage. Let that dry completely. Then I'm just going to take a piece of chalk and rub all over it. That seasons it. Erase it back. You've got a chalkboard. Wanted to remind you on the wood you bend that you don't have to have a hot plate to heat it up on. When you're working with longer pieces, it is easier to use a hot plate, but you can use a hair dryer to heat it up. I have used a heat gun. This stuff is amazing. I can't tell you how much I love it. I love it as much as I love Dixie Belle paint. Where do I get the wood you bend? I sell the wood you bend. There are several Dixie Belle retailers who are carrying it now. You can go to their website and order it from them. You can go to their website and find your nearest retailer, or send me a private message because I do ship. Ann, you're welcome. Thank you for saying that. Okay, Rosie, I hope I just answered that. Cynthia, if you paint your fridge, you have to send me a picture. And Maxine, I will post a picture in the comments this afternoon, and I will also post a picture on my page. So I will be back next Friday at the same time. Thank you all for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. If you missed any, I will go back in the comments and try to answer all of them. And I will see you next Friday. Thank you.